In this video we're going to look at some branch and hose handling techniques. To start off with, we're going to look at the 3D firefighting. This operator's holding the branch by the pistol grip and is cycling through the gas cool, the paint and the pencil. Now the gas cool is a wider pattern that's close to a fog. We'll push this towards the top of a compartment, so into that smoke layer all the products of combustion are, and this is designed to cool all of those fire gases. So the small droplets of water there is the most efficient way of them absorbing heat and converting into steam. They'll open the bale totally and close it just in short, sharp bursts like that. The next technique you're going to see is doing that same thing but just holding the branch via the boss. So the painting, what we're doing there is we're just putting bits of water onto all the surfaces inside of the compartment to stop them from pyrolysing. We don't need a lot of water to do that, so we're just putting the branch on half and then off the whole way, just short bursts. And the penciling there is just it's basically a jet, and that's aimed at the seat of the fire. Again, short, sharp bursts. Now here we have just a couple of guys doing a standard hose hold. So your branch operator has got the pistol grip and a hand on top of the branch, and your number 2 person is there taking the full weight of the hose, pushing it forward into the branch operator. Their stepping technique here is just a coordinated way of advancing hose. So they're just taking little steps, moving their back foot first and then their front foot. So here the guys are demonstrating a little bit of combustion zone management. We only had 2 people available that day. In the real situation you would have two lines running this. So the streamers are representing our C-class fire, and as you can see the guys will approach on a fog, but as they get close enough to affect the combustion zone they'll move down into this narrow power cone. And what we're doing is we're not wanting to actually extinguish the flames, but we're wanting to determine where all of that flaming combustion is happening. So we might want to push it away from an isolation point or push it away from a patient that's down next to the fire. So using this narrow power cone, we can actually determine where that flaming combustion is happening. Once the guys are happy and they're retreating back, they'll end up widening back out to a fog, just to make that hose a little bit more easier to manage. Now we're going to look at advancing some hose around the corner. So we can see our branch person get up to the corner here, and now it's quite difficult to actually pull a hose around the corner. So we'll get our number 2 person to assist us. And what they're going to do is they're going to push the hose down into the bottom corner, pushing it up the corner of the room, up to the ceiling, and then coiling it back around to the floor and then making another coil again. And this will make it really easy for your branch person to advance the hose down as far as they need to go. Now we're going to have a look at some door entries. So when we go up to the door, we're going to assess the door itself, look for structural integrity, decide which way the door opens, and if we need to do any forced entry. So once we've decided we're going to use this door to go into, our number 2 person is going to be checking it for heat with the back of their hand. Once they're happy that the door is hot and we're going to do this whole gas cooling thing, they'll tie a bit of rope onto the door so it's a little bit easier to control. The branch person will do a couple of short bursts at the top of the door there. This is just to make that atmosphere inert, and so when any products of combustion come out, it's too cold for them to catch fire. The door person will then open the door, and the branch person will do a couple of short bursts inside, doing a bit more of that gas calling. We're going to go through all that again now in slow motion. So we'll focus a little bit on the door person now. So you notice that they tie the piece of rope on, step back out of the way, and then with a bit of coordinated motion, number 1 person will come in, do that gas calling. The number 2 person will then flick the door open, and you'll notice they have a thermal image camera. So they're actually looking down low, identifying any patients inside of that room, identifying flow paths, and looking for the seat of the fire. So while they're doing that, the branch person is doing those couple of bursts above the door before we open it, and then a couple of bursts inside the door just to do that gas calling. So this is the kind of technique your thermal image camera person is going to use. They're going to sweep the room high and low, remembering that the convection currents inside of that room are going to make the top bit of it hotter than the bottom part. So that can affect how your thermal image camera is presenting how the room looks like. So now we're inside the fire room. We'll show you what painting the surfaces looks like through the thermal image camera. Notice how it reduces the temperature of all those surfaces inside the room and stops them from pyrolysing. So looking through a thermal image camera, we're going to just cycle through a few gas calls and a few paints here, just so we can have a look at how it presents on a thermal image camera and through different types of thermal image camera as well. Notice how the tick actually can't see through the water when we're doing all this gas cooling, and it can also change what mode the camera is in depending on what temperatures are in its field of vision. Now we've got someone with some Dutch rolled hose. They're bowling it out at 90 degrees to the direction that we're going to advance the hose. They then go down to the bite and pull that back to the couplings, making a W shape. Now making this W shape is going to make it very efficient to advance the hose. So as we charge it with water, those couple of bends in the hose are actually going to want to straighten the hose out. So this means we as firefighters are putting less effort into actually advancing that hose. So here we're going to advance some hose up some stairs. Your branch person is just going to walk up the stairs as per normal. And your backup number 2 person, they're going to make a little bit of a coil with the hose, and they're then going to roll that coil up the stairs. Now these stairs are actually quite steep, so you'll see him push it up in front of him. The shallower stairs are a little bit easier. So here we have another drill that we did just with the guys that were available that day. On the real job you would have 2 lines to do this. We're symbolising a C-class fire here with our streamers. So as the guys are advancing up to it, they're using a fog pattern to protect themselves from the heat. When they're close enough that they can affect the combustion zone, they're narrowing down into that power cone, and they're starting to push all that flaming combustion away from our patient. Once our branch person is in a set position, our backup number 2 person is going to move around to the patient and drag them away from the flaming combustion. Once the guys are happy with the placement of their patient, they're going to retreat away from that flaming combustion, going back out to a bit more of a fog to protect themselves from that radiant heat. Now with any fire that we go to, we're going to follow all of this post-fire decontamination procedure. This will just give us a long, healthy career in firefighting.